Does any people hear me? Good evening. So hope you're able to hear me, right? Hello. Are you people able to hear me?
Hey, yeah, they are able to hear.
Okay. Thank you. So let's start. So where did we stop in the last class? We were talking about our regular class. That's services, right? So in REST services, so far you people saw how to define this resource methods here. You see, and we are able to use Hibernate framework, right? Along with Jack's RS Jersey. Fine. And we saw how to produce JSON data. Yes, we saw how to produce JSON data as well. So let me just deploy this application on the server. Let's test this code once. I'll show you the JSON data once. Then we'll move on. Okay. So I'm placing the request here. Okay. So which method is called? The method which fetches all the records. You see that get products method is called by default here. Okay, which is still returning XML data. Okay. We have this method on top which takes product ID as input and returns the product object. In turn, it is transformed into JSON format. If it produces media type is JSON. So how will you place the request for this method here? What are we supposed to do? It takes a path parameter. How will you place a request for this method? So additionally to that URL product service, we need to append that path parameter. Add a slash followed by a value product ID, right? Yeah. So that is what we are supposed to do. You see product service slash 101, let's say. Okay. the center. Now what you got here, so what is this, what you're looking at here? It is a JSON object, am I right? So it is actually a JSON object. Yeah. So now let's move on. Here, you know what? This method, it takes one parameter, path parameter. And you don't know how to pass that path parameter, which this method takes. But suppose here, what if we have more than one path parameter? Then what to do? For example, just assume that this method is supposed to take a ID and name as input. So you'll add one more parameter, something like this name, right? I will register this parameter also as a path parameter here using this annotation at the rate path param. Name. So now we need to also configure this path parameter. Okay, sorry. We need to also configure this path parameter. So what you will do, just here add a slash, the flower brackets, you specify the path parameter name. That's it. We are done. So this way we can configure the path parameter. Okay. Now can someone tell me how to call this method? How to call this method? Yes. So how to call this web service method? What is the
Put an
URL? Yeah.
additional name parameter at the end of it.
Yeah. So to this existing URL, you just need to add a slash followed by a name, something like this. You see, you should keep on appending that path parameters one after the other. That's it. So this is what we need to do here. Yes. Okay. I'll place the request. No, sorry, I stopped the server. So similarly, you can add any number of path parameters, and you have to just append them using a slash. That's it. Okay. So remember, we don't even specify the path parameter name here. Just to pass the value. Just pass that input value. That's more than enough. Yes. Okay. See, so you got the path. Sorry, you got the result. Now let's talk about query parameters. We saw path parameters. For the method, we can also configure query parameters. Yes. For the method, we can also configure query parameters. So let's see how those query parameters look like. So I will comment this method. You see, for this method, we have two query parameters. One is ID and the other one is name. So when we talk about query parameters, so names are going to be important here. Okay, names are important. Yes. See, we don't have to configure any path additionally because here we can directly append that path parameters, sorry, query parameters to that URL using the names of this URL. Sorry, using the names of this query parameters. You can directly append this query parameters to the URL using the names. Yes. So each query parameter has got a name. So we can use that name. Each query parameter has got a name. So we can make use of the names here. Yes. So no need of path configurations. Okay. See, on top of the method. Okay. Now, how to place the request for that method which takes two query parameters? It's pretty simple and straightforward. So what you will do here, to this URL, you need to append this question mark first of all. Okay. And then you need to add a query parameter. The first query parameter is ID. You can configure the ID here. ID equal to some value, let's say 1 or 2. And we have another query parameter. So how to pass the second query parameter? You see, the second query parameter, you can add it here itself. Just use ampersand. Ampersand. Followed by the ampersand, you add this query parameter here. Yes. Ampersand name equal to some iPhone. This way, you'll pass the query parameters. We use names here. We use names. Shell presenter. Let's see. Sorry, just a minute. And let me redeploy this application because I've made changes. I doubt whether those changes have been updated or not. Okay, let's, here we have name equal to itself here. Name equal to iPhone here. So this method it takes two parameters here. It equal to one of two. Name equal to iPhone. Okay, don't really find. Here's a string. Okay, so the second method is called, not the first one which takes two parameters. Okay, let me try.
Do you have to put question mark somewhere
Already I did
in the?
after the service.
Okay.
Question mark is there, ampersand is there. Here you get a file. So use this browser, it writes the content of the file. Which method is facing. Yeah, you see, in this browser you got the response correctly. Let me close the tab, open it freshly. Something is not right here with this browser. Okay, so let me use a REST client. I have a tool, REST client, which I'll be showing you people anyways. So you see, using this REST client, so we can place the request actually. Here we are specifying that HTTP method name. So what is the HTTP method which you want to use here? Enter the URL. How about the query parameters? You see, so you'll find this arrow here. If you click on this arrow, you see, just here itself we have an arrow. Click on this arrow. You see query parameters. You can add them. ID 201, name, let's say phone. Then click on this up arrow again. You see how it constructed that query, but URL. You see, same as we did. What we did, same as what we did. You see, we got this URL, right? Yes. So let's place the request here. Okay. Click on send. Yeah. Here also you're getting the right content. So you got the JSON data. I'll close this browser Chrome and open it again. There's some issue with this browser. Let me clean this browser once again. So it's working from the internal browser. It is working from the tool, REST tool, advanced REST client tool. I think it has cached it. It's giving the same response. My goodness. Still it's not working here. There's something strange. Okay. In the REST client also it's working. You see down you got the response data. If you can check this, you got the JSON record. The URL is also same. Let me copy this URL otherwise. Okay. This URL constructed by this REST client. Here we are getting the same result again. If I use the URL here. This is weird.
Can we try an Internet Explorer?
That is what already I tried it using different you saw this REST client, right?
Yeah. In browser, we'll be having some issue.
Yeah. I tried it using REST client. I tried it in the internal browser. You'll get the same output here. You see, you get some JSON data, you get a file, so it will ask you to save it. JSON is not supported here. See, on the desktop, already we have that file product service. I'm saving that file. Okay. Yes, product service already exists. Do you want to replace? Yes. So that response data is in that file now. You can check the response data in this file. You got the JSON object itself. Okay. So it's not the issue with our code or the URL. Only in Chrome, it's giving different event. It's not calling the appropriate method here. It's a advanced REST client. You can check this. This is a ARC. In short, advanced REST client. It's a tool to test your services. Even here also you're getting the JSON object itself. It's the first method is called. Okay, don't worry about it. You can try working with it in your machines. Hopefully it should work in your machines, and try to also find out what's the problem with that Chrome. Definitely it's a problem with Chrome itself. Yeah. So next, now you saw path parameters and query parameters. We can also define a method which takes form parameters. We can define a method here which takes form parameters. Yes. For example, what I want to do is here, I want to define a method to add product details, add the product data. For that, I will add the parameters here. So let's say ID, name, price, and description. ID, name, price, and description here. Yes. So, when the form is submitted, when user submits a form, HTML form, I want this method to be called, to be invoked here. I want this method to be invoked. What to do? Okay. So I'll show you. I have a form, HTML form. Now the project, I'll just quickly copy it. So you know how to create a form, right? See, you got this method add product.js. Sorry, you got this JSP page add product.js. So just check this code. Here you'll find a form, a HTML form. Yeah, go through this once, all of you. So you have four form parameters. So, sorry, input fields, right? You see, to read that ID, name, price, and description. Now the thing is here, if I submit that form, I want this form data to be sent to that method add product. Okay, the add product method has to be invoked. Okay, and the data which is typed in this form field, it should be automatically populated into that method parameters. Okay, we got the parameters here for this method, right? That form data, it should be populated here into this method parameters. So that is what I want to do. So you'll find that here we can map that form parameters or form field to this method parameters, I can say. We can map that form field to this method parameters definitely. So let's try to do that. Here use this annotation @form parameter form param form param. And then here you see that input field name, whatever you got here. For suppose now we have this ID input field, text field. That input field value I want to populate it into this parameter. So just simply specify that input field name here. So this parameter should be mapped to which form field? This parameter here, it should be mapped to which form field here? Yes, form field name, you're specifying it using the form parameter. Similarly, you'll do the same for the other parameters also. Name, price, description. Okay. So these are the various form parameters. Okay. Now you need to associate this method to that form. We need to associate this method to that form. So what to do? What do you people think? What are we supposed to do? Yes. How will you associate this method to that form? You tell me. You will configure a URL for this method, and this URL you'll configure it in the form action attribute. That's it. So first of all, you see, we are performing an add operation. Okay. Yes. Means adding the record, right? Now this method, you annotate it with the appropriate method designator. We need to annotate this method with appropriate HTTP method designator. So which HTTP method designator is appropriate here? What do people think? Which HTTP method designator is appropriate here? So in this case, you go for post instead of put. Okay, you go for post. Yes. So you can just annotate it with @post. Post is also used for both get and sorry for both add and update. So now once you got this annotation here, now what you'll do is in this case I'm not really adding the record to the database server, but let me show you people here. We'll read that data from that parameters and we'll populate it into that product object here straight away this way. You see in this statement we are instantiating that product class, we are creating product class object, and that parameter values we are just passing them to the constructor, product class constructor. That's it. Okay. Yeah. So now so what's the next thing you need to do here? See, I'll just try to display those details so that you will understand that really that form data is actually populated into that object. Okay. Now I'll just string those details. Product dot get ID, name, price, and description. So when this method is called, simply this method should display the details. Okay. Here actually you can write the code to add this record to the database server using Hibernate. You can call Hibernate session components method save. You can call that method save method and pass that product object reference as input. That's it. Okay. Yeah. So now you have to make sure that this form is linked to that method. You see what we did? We have provided the URL of that product service class here, the resource class URL. We have provided it here. Okay. Now let's try to deploy this application on the server. Whenever this form is submitted, so the request is placed for that URL product service, REST product service. And what is the HTTP method used here? The client uses which HTTP method? Post. So you see the URL will be placed for product service itself, but the HTTP method is post. So you see the framework will look for the method in this class. It will look for the method whose method designator is post here. Yes, that is what it does. Okay. So now let's try to deploy this application. Okay. Now let me just access this method, add product, .jsp. Now here, okay, we got this method. I'll clear the console. Just let me clear the console. Now the console is blank. I'll click on this button, add product. Okay, let's see what happens. See, the add product method is invoked, and we are able to read the details which are typed in that form. So the service is not sending any response. So that's the reason why you won't find anything here. It's just blank. This method is just blank. That's it. Okay. Yeah. So this way, you see, each method it performs some CRUD. You see, it performs one of the CRUD operations. I mean, it may have some functionality. Definitely, it may have some functionality, but of course, every method will either read the data, fetch the data, update the data, whatever it is. Yes, so that method will be represented appropriately here using this method designators. Okay, so you see now we saw how to pass different types of parameters here: form parameters, query parameters, and what else? We saw path parameters. Okay, now similarly, you can define the methods which perform an update operation or a delete operation, and you can annotate those methods appropriately. Okay, yes. So for example, here, let's say we got a method to delete a product record. Okay, yeah. So it's a web service method. Let's see, public void delete products, takes a product ID as input, and let's say it will delete the record. So I'm not writing any code. I want you people to implement this method. So now you know how to work with Hibernate framework to delete the records and all, right? Let's delete product. Now what to do? Annotate this method with delete method designator. Sorry. I have a question. Can we have any specific URLs for this methods also? Yes. So now you see, in order to place the now I had a question first of all. If you're thinking about it, can we have a separate URL for this for each method? Can we configure a URL, at least a sub URL? What do you think? Yes, we can configure it. For example, yeah, I can add it slash dot product element. So not this way, but use path. This way, for each method, you can have a specific URL again. It's a sub URL, not the main URL. You cannot directly access that method using that URL. Okay, only that URL. So can you people tell me how will you access this method here? Yes. Yes. How will you place the request for this method? Can you people tell me? Product service slash product tel. That's right. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Uh, but can we place a HTTP method delete request using the browser's address bar? Can we place HTTP method delete request using the browser's address bar? No, it's not possible. Okay, you cannot do that. Yes. So what to in this case? You need any client application, or you can also use this advanced REST client tool to construct the request. Generally, what you can do is, yeah, you can use Postman, or you can use this advanced REST client which I'm using here. Okay. Now let's place the request here. for that URL product tell. The HTTP method designator change it to delete. Sorry, I mean HTTP method change it to delete here. So you're placing a delete request. Okay. Now we need to append a path. Sorry, what is the query parameter? Did I configure anything? No. So let me just configure it as a path parameter. Okay. Query parameter. Anything is fine. You wish. Yes. At the rate path param ID. And do we need to do anything here? Yes. So let's configure the slash ID path. That means it indicates that this URL, it takes a path parameter, I can say. This URL, it takes a path parameter. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You see the URL, you have to add a path parameter slash some ID 200. Now the method is delete. We can send the request. That's it. Click on send. Oh, it says 4 not. Oh, did I make any mistake here? Product then it takes the path parameter. Uh, product is, why is it in okay, the brackets in type, there is a typo mistake. I have added brackets here, right? This is slash ID, that is slash product and slash ID. Okay. So it will redeploy, just wait. Okay, here, see, now let's place the request. Yeah, 204 means the request is placed successfully without any issue. The only thing is here you didn't get any response from the server. The service is not returning any response. You see, the delete product method is called. Here, the delete product method has been invoked. Yes, that's it. So is it clear for you people, all of you? So under the Google Drive extensions, you'll find this ARC, Advanced REST Client. Okay, Advanced REST Client. In the Google Drive extensions, you'll find it. In the settings, extensions, I'm sorry. Under the more tools, you'll see extensions, Chrome extensions, Advanced REST Client. By default, you won't find it. You see, if you scroll down, you should see this, Get More Extensions. Click on Get More Extensions. Down, you'll find it. You can search for it, the extensions with the name, say Advanced REST Client, something like that. So because it is already installed on my machine, it won't show this Advanced REST Client. In your machines, you should see that. Okay, yeah, Advanced REST Client application. So already I have the tools. So simply you can also add it. Okay, you can add it. You got it, all of you. So just try working with this Advanced REST Client also. It is easy to use tool. Okay. Next, we need to talk about the sub-resources, sub-resource locators, and security. So will be done within 2 days. But I'll leave you people little early today. Okay, so I'll stop it here. So tomorrow we'll meet at our regular time and we'll continue discussion. So meanwhile, we try to work with this. Okay? Thank you all. Bye bye.